All right, folks. Okay, cool. Well, technical problem there on the side. I don't know why. Okay, but everything we talked about, I know. Just so recap on today's Fast 5 here at PHoenix. Problem, hang on. Doing out there. But we're good now. So, Wes, just quick recap on we're on the here at PHoenix in the desert, Spartan Simracing for the Fast 5, and we were just talking about how the differences are, the turns, how these drivers can set these things up, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and we're still doing a warm up here, race and whatnot, but and you just mentioned it, how you like your setup. I'm not as familiar with this track. Obviously, raced it. I've not raced it enough to go, hey, look, yeah, I want
man, it's set up, and we always talk about open setup and how it differs from normal. It's driver's favorability, turns 1, 2, 3, 4. Who knows what they're going to want? And I guarantee you there's not going to be a single car that's set up the same.
Absolutely not. So I think it's going to be a good one here. Warm-up time right now. These drivers out here are just kind of getting a little bit to feel the track. When we'll do the rundown here, the qualifying. This qualifying has been, set here tonight. It is one of the Fast 5 races here too. So that one definitely, hey, be good.
Definitely going to be good. Definitely going to be good. I'm sorry I've been taken away. I've had some stuff going on in a group chat I had to deal with. But you know what? That's all behind us. So let's get going for some racing here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about this track. Yeah, since you have a lot of I guess experience as far as running the track here on iRacing, it has been so long since I have run in it. I've done a lot of broadcasts here, and my feeling when it comes to PHoenix is usually this is a very tricky place, and it can produce a lot of cautions. For some reason, it's one of those tracks.
That is loud. It's definitely a tricky track. Sorry, I was trying to see if I could find an onboard for a driver for tonight. Typically, I go with Connor Henry, but I didn't see him up. So instead, I'm running with Jonathan Duncan.
Okay.
But yeah, PHoenix is a really tough track. You see guys, they'll use that apron, whether it's on the backstretch or, as I said, in 1 and 2. But 3 and 4 is where you want to steer clear. If you touch that apron there, you're going to send your car for a loop. You also want your car to be... it's going to get looser over the run. We'll say that. You want it to start out tight, hoping it loosens up on the run. If you start it loose and it continues to get looser, well, expect yourself pointing to a wall or maybe even to cars coming towards you. It's going to be a fun one to watch if a long run develops here, because I think that's when you really see who knows how to wheel a race car and who knows how to set them up.
There you go. And I think we've seen a lot of that too throughout the season. Guys really, crucial in that long run and so forth, so on. Now looks like Michael Tucker up front with Justin Boyles. Got the parole right there with him, Hammond. So guys out there trying to fill the track out. And again, with this being an open setup, I think it's going to be a lot different. But right, you just saw what we were talking about. That rear end coming out from under. And that has been an issue that has just kind of struck these guys all season long. We are getting set here to go. Gridding them up here. I get over. Go. Bringing them up. Let's grid here tonight. As old William Phillips puts it on pole here tonight. As old Jeremy Sumter puts it right there in second. Drew Prawl there in third. Michael Tucker's going to start her up in fourth. Jason Boyle starting fifth. We got Mark Sanchez there in sixth. Colton Gardner's going to start seventh. Greg Carr starting in eighth. Kane Clore, he's there in ninth. We've got Alex Hammonds, he's there in the 10th. Dylan Gruschmacher. Sitting in the 12th. We got Paul Macheski, he's there in the 13th place spot. You got Zoak behind him. He's going to have Miller sitting in 14th. You got Dakota Jorgensen sitting in the 15th spot. There's old Dave Hughes, he's in sitting 15th. Blair Holman, my bad. Ellen Holman. But the B kind of blended in a little bit. That's Blair Holman. Started in the 13th. Kyle Westwood, he's in 18th. Jonathan Duncan started in 19th. We got Gary Donlin. He's in 20th. Devin Maines in the 21st. We got Evan Stewart in 22nd. Third spot back here. We got old J.P. Jones. Kyle Gerlach, he's in 24th. Hyatt starting there 25th. We got Alpine. I think it
Alpine.
Is it Alpine? Okay, so I said it right.
Alpine.
Alpine. Was that right first time? All right. The Alpine. So bad. I don't. Then we got Ken Eastman starting in the 28th. Latham there in the 29th. Vincent starting in 30th. Healy starting 31st. Carr 32nd. Woman dropped back to 33rd. And then Charles Van Scoit starting there in the 34th position. So 34 cars starting here tonight. Really good field. I mean, solid out here.
Really looking solid, and this is one of the best tracks, I think, typically for a restart. You typically see them cut down right onto the dogleg as soon as they cross the start-finish line, but not tonight. They got to go at least one lap around before they can use it.
Green flag in the air. We're racing in the desert here. Phillips and company out front, and like what you said, we're probably going to see them fan out 3, 4, mostly, but maybe 5 wide here at the start to try to get everything you can. I know those top guys want to kind of stay away from this as much as they can.
Stay away from it the best you can. And Colton Gardner, you saw already went down below that yellow line. That is a legal racing racing surface there in 3 and 4, and we've already got a caution.
Oh, Healy around. And if I had to be a bet man, I'm going to say probably that rear end came out from under him. And that has just been a little bump right there. Okay, so got upset a little bit. All right.
And great escape there from the 32 as well.
Had a little help afterwards. Check up. Just a little hard in the turn there. And cold tires, we talk about that a lot. Cold tires, you've got to be patient on these restarts. You got to let the tire temperature, cars are really thick. Especially, it's even more important, I feel, Wesley, on the fixed setups, because it's dependent on how you, like what you said earlier, how you have your car set up. Do you have it set up for a short run? Do you have it set up for a long run? Do you have it set up kind of balanced? And you want those tires to be at a certain temperature before your setup really kicks in. So until then, you're either riding on the edge or you're not.
Right on the edge, it's always where you want to be as a driver. It's a tough one because it's very much a thin line. I want to say that edge of perfection, and just maybe a centimeter or two over and you're around, you're in a wall, you're out of the race. So it's a very fine tightrope to walk, and it's going to be interesting to see who the best is at walking that.
Absolutely, right now. Betty, how you doing? 088. Eyeballs are correct. That would be Drew Prohl, right?
Prohl's in the 80. The 88 would be Kyle Gerlach.
24th right now, so not too bad. He's definitely got time. And, a lot of times when you see drivers, they're like, oh, man, they're barred back there in the back. A track like this, you definitely could come through the field. It's not one track like, an Atlanta or Charlotte or obviously Auto Club or saw before, where track position is crucial. Yes, it is crucial here. But I feel like you can come through the field here with a good set of tires, with a set up under the car. So you're not really kind of marred unless you just get caught in traffic or caught up in a problem. Getting set to go back green. Lights off on the pace car. Bills and company up front. Pace cars in. We're going green flag back here in the desert. The Fast Five, race number 2 here tonight. As they got something company up front.
It's a long way from that car, from that pace car pulling off.
And that's you're right. I mean, you sit here, that is something about PHoenix, man. You see, wait forever. They are getting towards the restart zone, and green. Oh, it's coming out front. For a driver, I bet that feels like forever.
It definitely does. And Phillips with a great launch off the start there. Going to be immediately clear of Sumter and Boyles.
Yeah, Boyles right there, man, gets jumped out there to second. Sumter, the Boyles already up 3 spots. Gruschmacher, excuse me, up there through 3 spots himself. So some guys, you know, making some moves up through the field. Kind of look, you know, through the field here a little bit. Caution, we got a big one up front. Whoa, that's a 72. We're going to have to make way of what happened here. Wow, that's got Jeremy Sumter in it. So showed him on first one. He was up here. Got some help. Oh, he just lost it. That thing started to come out from under him. There, just the else got collected.
Yeah, it came out from underneath him, and Tucker got into the back and really had nowhere to go with how he was following that 52.
Watch it right there. Yeah, so it just started to come out from under him. We'll ride Tucker along with Tucker and Steve. Never. That ain't what really. I don't think he got to him.
Might have been the smallest of bump beforehand, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it really is from. Slow it down and see if maybe that car was. I don't know. That is. Man, that is some split second right there. Wow.
It's right here, probably some slight contact. Upset the 52
like
a little bit and send him around.
And from that, it looked like the 52 was starting, but then, you know, they were there. I don't know. Well, that's a tough one, and then some other great cars collected up into that one. That's racing. So that is tough.
It's a tough track. It's a tough track, tough luck. Sumter's always been pretty fast. He's one of the fast 5 guys tonight. So it's going to be a mighty big clawback from him to try and get into that winning position.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And he's back there, you know, in that number 52. Doesn't look like there's too much damage. Car, so it might be okay. Unless it did a little bit, maybe a steering damage or whatnot. But you talk about some of the fast 5 guys. They're back there marred back in traffic. I mean, the only one majorly right now is a guy up here up top. That's Tucker. As the pace cars, like you said, we got that long march, and I know with this track, boy, some of these drivers, that's got to be like a. And I mentioned it before, real quick before we go green, that this track could be a tricky one. It's one for I've seen a lot of cautions, I've seen little cautions here, but it doesn't matter how good drivers are. It just seems that this place is a dreadful place. Green flags back in the air. It's just one of these tracks where it just, no matter what you do, it just can snap out and bite you.
Snap out and bite you indeed. As you see, Boyles down to the inside here through 1 and 2. Not going to quite get it. 24 with a better run off.
Yeah, he does. Right there, Phillips, man, takes the spot. Boyles, like you said, tried everything he can. Meanwhile, the big battle's back here. Around 9th place spot. They were 3 wide for the moment. That's Jorgensen there, man. Cole Macheski along with him. Miller, Duncan, and company like that. Boy, spread out back there behind them, man, Wes.
Oh, caution, yellow flag.
Caution out. Oh, that looks like Latham. Well, he was spinning, but actually started, I think, with J.P. Daniels. Let's see, maybe lost it a little bit. Yep, he just lost it. Boom! Ouch!
Major hit, and then other cars collected.
Yeah, there was nothing he could do there. That was just, that threw their car back up there. Yeah, Timothy Latham, cars who got plays one time. We'll watch from his point of view here. Some kind of, he just lost it. Evan Stewart. I think Stewart was one of the ones that actually got collected by the car. Yeah,
I think he was the first one.
Right there, you see him at 34.
It's a major hit on both cars.
Call him at home, make sure he's okay.
But we just saw that lap around. I want to point out was the first time we saw them be able to fan out down that dog leg on the front stretch technically. And it's a little disorientating. It's so wide there. You can fit 10 cars nearly side by side. No, you could probably fit 10. You're probably closer to 15 you could fit side by side.
Well, they went 7
so
wide.
it's a hard way to know if you're clear.
Yeah, they went 7 wide in the truck series. The real one on front.
That was down in 1 and 2, not quite on the dog leg, but yeah, it's a really wide track, Phoenix is, with how much you're allowed to run down onto that apron, which is what really makes it an exciting race, but also a very difficult and a technical one.
Yeah. And we're already seeing it, you know. I'm going to take anything away. I know the admins are probably, you know, yanking their hair out right now, guys, man. Don't need all these cautions. I got to go back to reiterate. This place is one of these places. It just, I can't explain it. Folks, I've broadcasted many different leagues, and some leagues that have really great drivers, pro drivers in them. And this place produced cautions with them. And then I've had places, you know, that, hey, look, you know, had none. It's just one of these tracks. It's just, there's some tracks that no matter what you do, they're just tough on you.
There is. I mean, Phoenix is one of the main ones you think about, like you've said, just because of how unique it is. And Gateway's definitely another one. Darlington, I'd want to say, is in the same boat. They're all unique tracks where they're not a cookie cutter style track where you've got the 4 turns in an oval or a tri-oval or whatever you might consider on the front stretch. They each have their own uniqueness to it.
Maybe that's why I ain't out there driving too much anymore, Wes. That'd be one of these cautions. Here we go. And plus, this place doesn't have much of a banking to it. It kind of reminds me of like New Hampshire, kind of flat nose. You got to have a little throttle control coming through here, even though this is a fast style track. Let's go back green. It's Ben Phillips out front controlling the field here tonight for the Spartan Sim Racing Master Series here. The Bulls is right there beside of him. And green flag, we're back racing at the desert.
And he just keeps getting those amazing jumps on the restart to where he's immediately cleared the 2 behind him as Tucker's up the inside of Boyles here. And Tucker's car really seemed to love the low line in 1 and 2.
It does. Looks like he's down there low. And I think, man, right now I'm not really seeing a line that has the advantage. You can see that high line's working very well. But, you know, if you're able to utilize that low line here, I think, though, if we do get a long green flag run, maybe that low line will be superior. Now Tucker's going to try to drive it down there to the dog leg you were talking about earlier. Comes back up. Now, another interesting fact about that dog leg is it is the driver who goes down in that dog leg's responsibility to make it back up on the track safely. Not the driver on the outside. He doesn't have to let you back up above that track. So you got to make sure you're clear. That's kind of a uniqueness to that dog leg.
It takes great spatial awareness indeed. And as you can see, there's even really how much you want to cut it. There is no track limits here at Phoenix. It's all to the driver's discretion. It's how comfortable are you with going down low? How much do you think? Oh, we have a spin.
Wow, and he saved that thing. Man, I'm sorry about that there, Wes, but boy, that was just a slight. That was a heck of a save by Boyles.
Really great save, but those tires are not going to be happy, I'll tell you that.
No, they're not. But, I mean, that was a heck of a save, man. A mastercraft job there by Boyles as Hammond got ever so slightly in the back of him there. Those two was battling for position. So it puts Boyles back here, man, around about the 10th place spot. Go back here around 12th place. Got a lot of side-by-side action going on back here. That's Westwood, Duncan, Zozak, and Maines back here along with them. Maines one of the fast 5 drivers.
And I was about to say, you talk about Maines, he's coming up through the field. We saw him a little bit further back, and Holloman's right behind him as well. Sumter was along with them on the restart a couple restarts ago after he got wrecked out, but not quite following.
Right now, 3 wide. Westwood, Maines, Zozak right there along with it, man. Holloman's in that mix too with Dave Fuge, Dollyland. Side by side, good racing back here.
And that's what I love about Phoenix. You can see it right there through 1 and 2. They're too wide, but just because they're too wide doesn't mean there's 2 lines that all the drivers are taking. I saw about 3 to 5 different lines from the drivers being all the way up against the yellow. I think I almost saw a car in the wall. And that's what makes this track great. Like we said, track position matters a little bit, but it's also easier to pass, unlike at Charlotte, Atlanta, Auto Club, or even Chicagoland.
It is.
There's not a definitive line. It's very much how your car handles where you like to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, they will get single file eventually if we get a long green flag style run. That's when you start picking them off one by one. You see right here, Bozaki's back here in the 16th place spot. Trying to see if he can't work his way back to the front. Further on back here around about the 20th. The 2 guys are side by side. That's Gerlach, man, and Alphen right there along with it with Salter. Genningsman, he's up 7 spots, but kind of just slowly but surely working his way to the front.
And that's what we've seen with him almost all season already. He doesn't always start up at the front, but he eventually finds his way there. He keeps it quiet until the end, and that's when he makes his presence known.
Kind of like sneak up there when nobody sees him, like you said, last minute. All Phillips up front. He's still got a lead. Got Tucker right there with him, right behind him. Those 2 have kind of broken away a little bit from him and got a little breathing room. And you got Gruschmacher right there. He's up 7 spots. So been able to bring that car up from back in the back a little bit. Miller also right behind him. They're up 9 spots too. So pretty good movers.
Definitely some good movers. Jonathan Duncan sitting in 9th spot. He's up 10 positions. So is Maines in 11th. So you can clearly see you can make your way forward. It just takes a little bit of time. It's really depending on how well you set up the car in front, about how you take your runs. It might take a lap or 2 to get to them, then another lap or 2 to get past them, but it can be done.
Everybody's kind of just biding their time, single file, kind of settle down a little bit. This is where your tire pressures are up. You got what, we talked about it earlier. Now how you get your car set up. Is it set up for the long run, short run, medium? What do I got here? Phillips right now looking strong out. Tucker. Hammond's right there with him. Gruschmacher along there too, and Miller. That's the top 5. We're looking back here around about the 9th place spot. Good battle here with Duncan, Boyles, and Carr. They're in the mix there too. And behind them you got Maines and Jurgensen.
Something we always see. It's not always a fight up at the front. It's more in the midfield where you see a bunch of great racing, because these guys, the front guys, don't get me wrong, they're all good. Everybody here's good. This is the NASCAR series after all. But in the midfield, you got guys a lot closer in speed to where they're just always on top of each other, and it makes such great action. But you got Tucker here just hounding the back bumper of the 24 car for the lead.
Knocking on the door back there too, and he's looking at him. I mean, he's keeping Phillips honest, and you keep that close to a guy, even though Tucker might be just riding right now, saying, okay, let me see what I've got, and settling in a little bit. He's still keeping Phillips honest up there, going, hey, look, I see you. You make a little slip. You make one little wrong move up front. I'm coming around you, but I'm not really going to push the issue of maybe try to come around you. I'm just going to sit back here, man, and worry you a little bit. And then you got guys back here like this, what you were talking about. They're side by side. They're trying to get what they can get.
It's always fun to watch the difference between the leaders. As you go 3 wide here through the dog leg, the 31 saw an opening. He's going to take it.
Yeah, good shot right there. You see it, Boyles. I think that's Duncan, Boyles, and Cole Macheski right there in the mix. And you see that 31 down on the bottom there. That's actually was Duncan. Thought he had it for a moment, but Boyles fires back.
And even though the track's not exactly banked, it's a little bit flat, like you said, a little bit like New Hampshire, that it reminds you of. The outside lane still can have a good bit of momentum just because you're out of the throttle a little bit less, because you've got a longer way around the track. You got to be in the gas a little bit more, but still not exactly a dominant line, I would say.
I'm with you right now, because you can see even the 31 machine right there, he's having trouble. He finally makes that pass, but it took him a long time to get it done. And we brought that, I brought that up about with New Hampshire, because throttle control at that track is really crucial. Being as flat as it is, coming out of the turns, you come out very fast. and you got to be very, very gentle on the throttle. Same thing with here. You got to be very gentle coming out of the throttle. See there, Mendo, car's not done with him. Oh, excuse me, Boyles is not done with old Duncan up there. Here, a car right there behind him. Baines, Jurgensen, all those guys are kind of single file. Kolmacheski's in the mix there a little bit. Now you start to see guys kind of pick each other one by one.
And this is that long run we talk about. Things get spread out. Cars get single filed a little bit. Not saying that it's going to be a snooze fest from here on. You still have those runs you're going to get. Like you said, pick them off one by one. Well, if it takes too long to pick a guy off, guess what? There's another car that now joins that fight.
Absolutely. Henningsman, he's up there 11 spots, back in the 18th there with Latham right behind him up 11. You got Carr right there 21st. He's up, man, 12 spots with Salter up 7. So a couple movers right there. Unfortunate, though, back here, Gardner, Westwood, and we've got Alphen who caution, but he spun.
He's kept it generally off the racing surface. Might take it to pit road for that damage. Nope, puts it right back on track. Just be careful with rejoining.
Let's go back here and see what happened to him. I guess he just got in contact with someone. Maybe there's a lot of bias to the front of that thing. Something you don't see very often here at this track, man. Tire rotor glow.
It's really dependent with glow about how hard you want to run it into the corners.
Look at this.
You use a little bit of brake.
Yeah, look at that right there.
There it is. Ooh,
Yeah,
really nice and hot.
Out of going into that turn. Things was heated up. Anyways, they were hot. I know that way. Saw him there first before we saw him wreck, and some of that could have been the reason why he came around. He could have a lot of bios probably to the front of that car, just bring it right around as soon as it brakes.
Yeah, and as I was touching on, PHoenix, you don't really think about braking much. It's somewhat of the intermediate track where a lot of it's just letting off, but if you really want to put your car in there and make a pass, you're going to be diving your car up the inside of somebody and hitting those brakes as hard as you can to slow down and hope to stay in front of them.
It is. And, we go back to, this track, it's not you do use the brake here, slow down, but it's not like a huge amount of braking. So for those things to be like it was, he must have been really hard down on those brakes to try to get it slowed down. He must have just turned. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of at that point.
That's what I'm seeing as well. It's not a short track. It's not a short track of where, say, Martinsville, where it's you have to be on the brake way before the corner and get it really slowed down for a tight turn, but you still need to get it wound up more than just letting off.
Yeah. I'm not seeing him right there. You don't see him as red or anything as it was, so maybe it's just he overdrove that turn. It was a good. You can see not as red now. I think he just overdrove that turn. That's what brought that rear around.
Yeah, it's a little faint glow whenever you see him hit the brake, but it's not that bright red that we saw.
Yeah. And that's kind of normal.
Whoa, and big wiggle.
That tells me that he might have a heck of got a lot of brake to the front. Probably carrying around. As you saw right there, yeah, he had to catch it.
And that could be the tires upset with that spin. You spin out anywhere, you're sliding the tires, they're going to get hot, they're going to get angry at you, they'll bite back.
Phillips up here pulled away from Tucker. Remember, he was right there on his back door. Got a 1.5 second lead now over Tucker. Tucker's falling back, and Hammond is now kind of closing in here on Tucker, that second place spot. Bushmacher right there too. He's up there in the 4th, and Miller right there sitting in 5th.
And we talked about short run versus long run. Well, I want to call this the medium run. It's not quite the short run. The short run, you typically, it takes, I don't know, about the first 10, 15 laps of the run. Then you got this little bit of intermediate stage where it's kind of a back and forth between short run and long run. There are some cars that are built for like 30 lap stints or such. But once you get beyond about 45 or so, that's when you really see the long run. That's who you see who's got the better handling car, I would say.
Right now, Tucker, I mean, and it looks like Phillips has got a very well long run style car. He's out front right now. Tucker's kind of falling off the pace a little bit. Hammond is definitely catching him down to the 6/10 right there behind him. Bushmacher right there with him along 2 and 4th with Miller. Got Duncan sitting back here in the 6th place spot. He's a 13th spot, so he's able to knock some positions off front.
Yeah, and the only thing I worry about with Tucker, he's a great driver. We've seen him. He's able to work magic in that car sometimes. He's only about 5.5 seconds ahead of Maines, who's the next Fast 5 driver. Maine's gaining a little bit, but not much. So question is Tucker's car going to fall off even more throughout the rest of this run if it stays green?
Yeah, and it's interesting, folks. If you look over there, the drivers highlighted in green are the Fast 5 drivers, so you'll be able to keep up with them throughout the entire race. This is race number 2 of the Fast 5. We had one at Talladega, which was a thriller there. This is a Master Series, Spartan Simracing League here. Hope you're enjoying it. You know, these guys out here, this is the best of the best that comes from the Spartan Simracing League here tonight. We're out in the desert. A little tricky style track. We had several cautions early on, but we've had a pretty good long green flag run since then. Right there, falling off the pace a little.
Oils also had that huge save where he was basically perpendicular against another car's hood. So it's going to be a little bit of a recovery from him. His tires still might not be happy, but it's been a couple laps. They might have calmed down. But that still takes a lot of wear out if you're going sideways across the track for even a little bit.
You know, and we talk so much here about you can make it up to the. So we have some heavy movers. I mean, up front, obviously, we talked about Duncan, we talked about Maines. A lot of guys up 6, 7, 8 spots. Those spots. You got Ginningsman right here up 12. Right there behind him up 12. You know, even the 88. He's up 8. So, yes, you can make some headway here through the field. It's not one of these tracks where you're just, oh man, I'm marred back in traffic. I'm marred back here in the field, and I can't make it up. And I call that the Auto Club effect. And that's one of the tracks where you've got to play the position game more than here. I think you can make some massive headway. We're seeing it right now.
Seeing it for sure. And 24, we said he had Tucker right up behind him, but almost 2 seconds of a gap now. Just nice Sunday drive at this point.
Absolutely. Green racetrack right here out front. He's got a solid lead over Tucker, about 1.5, almost 2 seconds. As Tucker is going to have to deal here soon, probably with Hammond, as he is actually then still maintaining about 6/10 right behind him. Bushmacher right there with him too, sitting in the 4th place spot with Miller. It's your top 5. So a lot of these guys, man, you know, not far off from each other, but and we're at this point right now where you're just guys have settled in. What their car will do. What adjustments do I have to do on the first pit stop? And talk about pit stops. What do you think we'll when you think we'll see the first one?
I'm not sure with you on that one. Pit stop's always a little tricky. We're not exactly sitting in the car, sitting pretty. Looking like they still got a good amount of gas. You can typically go around 60 to 80 laps on a tank of gas. So
Yellow flag.
still might have a little way to go.
Caution. Like Alf and by himself. Remember, he spun earlier and he lost it again. And
Yeah, we saw him spin earlier, and then we saw him again. He was really fine. That car, it wasn't quite happy after that spin. So I think it finally just said, you know what? It might be time to pull it back. The car not exactly quite happy with him, but see if he might be able to recover. If not,
Pit stops. Talked about it. The 4 tires fuel? 4 tires just a lot of two tires, man. Some of the races, but I think at this junction, a lot of 4 tires, which everybody.
and you're gonna really waste no time under yellow getting 4 tires, and it's gonna be a smart decision. They have 5 fresh sets they can choose from on pit road, so go ahead, take one now. 230 laps, a little bit of a long race, but if you can keep your tires good, I mean, I think the 24 had great tires there through that whole run. So come get 4 new fresh ones, go do it again.
Absolutely. Phillips can maintain out front here, did an outstanding job on the restarts prior. You got Hammond right there along with it with Tucker. Bruce Marker right there too. He's sitting in 4th with Miller. To your top 5, everybody, man, now's on new tires. And so if you're the guys in the back that we're trying to run down Phillips, does Phillips give up a spots here? Hopefully because it looks like this car's just better on that long run. Maybe give up and then say, hey, look, I'll get them back here as the run goes on.
I don't know. He's been firing off really good from the lead there on the inside, and not quite able to stick with him. You saw Tucker hounding him for a little bit, but eventually his car went away. I think Phillips just has a great car all around.
He does. What we're going to see here is pace cars in to bring the long march here back to the green flag here tonight under the lights. PHoenix Spartan Simracing League here, the Master Series. You got Phillips, Hammond right there along with it with Tucker. Bruce Marker right there too, man, in the 4th with Miller. It is a long march, and I know these drivers have a lot to think about when they get to that start-finish line as Phillips is going to hit it. Green flag. We're racing back in the desert. Phillips got enough to get back out front in front of these boys.
It's a good jump again, but not quite as dominant as he's had. You've got Hammond's right there, was with them, clear through 1 and 2, though. Hammond's going to have a decent run out of 2, maybe.
He does. He's got Tucker, man, tucked right there up underneath him.
Caution, yellow flag.
Got a big one in the back here. We got a couple cars around. It's Donnellan. Looks like we also got Latham back here too. So let's go back and see if we can't sort out what happened. We'll start here with Timothy Latham. So it looks like he just lost it. And unfortunately, probably some other guys just. What happened?
Latham looks like he was on the tail end of that.
What happened to Gary here? Because he didn't hit anything. He just lost it. The other cars he just came into.
Yeah, he lost it, and then Dave was looking to make a move up the inside, and just 12 kind of popped out right in front of him.
Now, watch here from Dave and see what happened. Yeah, so see him back there in the back, and he had nothing he could do, nowhere to go. Ouch. All right, caution here, and it brings us back to that conversation we were talking earlier on. Cold tires, got to get the temperatures up on them. Car's going to be very slick. You got to be mindful of that. And that's pretty much the precedence. On the start, got to be careful.
Start, it's a great way to make up positions fast, but it's a good way at the same time to lose positions quickly, especially if you're in a wreck. It's going to be a lot of take and very little give, I feel like, with these drivers. You've seen how aggressive they are throughout the season so far. So they're going to go very, very intense at a restart and try to get as much as they can.
Line them back up. Back going. Here we go. a pretty solid race here tonight, Phoenix. It's snuck out and bit some drivers so far. Williams has been the man all night long. Been able to kind of hold them off and get some good jumps.
And if he keeps getting those jumps, I think nobody's going to get him today. I'm going to make my pick for the race win early. I think it's that 24 car.
I wasn't getting any trouble or getting, we talk about pit stops. I talk about that a lot as, mental mistakes, what can happen. That's usually where, 9 times out of 10, that's where a lot of problems. And actually, we've seen a couple of that this season. So as long as he didn't make any mistakes on that pit road, I'm like you. If he stays out front, that's where you want to be. You want to be up front, out of the danger zone. Don't make any mistakes on the track. Lights back off. We're going to head here and go back green to flag. Does Hammond and Tucker, though, have anything for him? Does Grussmacher right there with him, too, along with Miller? Pace cars in. They'll make the long march back up to the start-finish line here. Get set to go back green under the lights. Phoenix here out in the desert. Spartan Simracing League. Phillips and that man. Coming around. Tucker back there, too. Itching to see where we're going. Green flag. Well, Phillips, he just gets a good jump. Good.
And last time Hammonds went with him a little bit. I don't think he was expecting Phillips to go when he did this time. So great jump by the 24. Easily clear 8 and the 23 26 side by side.
Yeah, it is side by side. Like I said, Hammonds right there with Tucker. We got a car around this way back. Watching this battle. I can see what happened here to Westwood. Back here by himself. Dirt. I don't know if this rear end come out money. Wiggly right there, but snapped. Got him behind the 8 ball a little bit. Nice single file up front. Got Duncan back here. He's up 13 spots there in 6. What a move.
What a move indeed. And everybody there you kind of saw fishing around the bottom. He's already starting to run up high through 1 and 2, which towards the end of the run is what we saw a lot with a lot of the drivers.
Right behind him right there. Main's coming up through the field with Boyles there too. Remember Boyles earlier on had that awesome save. He's been able to fight back, get back up here to 8th place spot.
And Boyles, I think, is probably one with the most anger in him. He had a good car. He had a fast car. He was up there up front for a long time. Kind of got put back, so he's going to be a little bit aggressive, I say, to get back up towards the front in those top 5 positions.
Yeah, and and you're right there, being aggressive, trying to get as lot as he can. But he's also, being very patient here, picking them off one by one. He's doing what he needs to do to get up here, not get himself into trouble, because it's so, and I know, it's so easy to get yourself into trouble, overdrive the car, thinking, man, I got to get there. I mean, it's a long race. You've still got a lot of time. Run a lap, 64, 230. You've still got plenty of time, and you've already managed to get back up to 8th place. So, at this point, he's sitting very good, I think, in a good spot.
Good spot, good position. Another good spot. Tucker tucked up right underneath Hammonds, sitting there 2nd and 3rd.
Yes. Here, too, man. We got Carr. Get Tucker back up there in 3rd. Dennisman, he's back here in 11th with Jurgensen right there behind him, and then got a good little battle going around about 12th place spot back here. Like Gerlach and Jurgensen.
And Holloman looked a little bit on the last lap going through the dog leg to try and make it 3 wide, but got them all single filed out, but that's probably not the end of the battle.
No, it's not. Kenny's been able to make that battle right there, make the pass clear. Gerlach there too in the 12th place spot, fires it down to the inside. Jurgensen falls back a little bit with Holloman. Olmacheski's back there too in the 15th. This is kind of, we were referencing back to what you see, single file for a little bit, then all of a sudden, boom, these two back at each other.
back at each other, and it's hard racing, it's respectful racing, which is what I love to see. You don't see them hitting each other. You see them giving each other plenty of space, and it's just amazing to watch. You see the different lines here, 3 different lines between these 3 cars. Jorgensen right there wrapping around the bottom. Holloman, who's sitting right behind these 2, he's more so in the middle of the track. And then there was Gerlach. He sat there. He's running a little bit higher up, so it's just fun to watch these cars, how they each run their different lines, how far they cut the boot leg or the dog leg if they do.
Yeah. Close quarters racing. He gets right up on the back door there. Gerlach does. The Sanchez. Man, that is close quarters. That's a battle right behind him with Jurgensen. Jurgensen and Holloman, 2 guys going at each other.
Yeah, and here comes the 69 as well. He's been watching this. He's come up on this group as they were battling, and now he's licking his lips, seeing if he might be able to pass that 9, who seems to be falling back.
Macheski right there along with him. Like I said, a little slip there by Holloman, and like you said, Cole Macheski right there to pounce, and he was able to take that spot from him. Man, like that, boom. Holloman trying to move back through the field. Hyatt right behind him. Bozak's right there with him too. Latham. Further on back here in the field, there's Icatera. Sumter. Dave, he's been trying to fight back here too. Got caught up in a wreck earlier. Westwood spun. We've only got a couple cars out. J.P. Jones, Kroll. Can't score it, unfortunately, out of this one right now. Yeah, Chloe actually out.
14 of Healy's out as well. A lot of those guys involved in that early caution when J.P. Jones went down, hit the inside wall, and then rocketed back up.
Yeah, big wreck. Been this man right here, though, all night long. Phillips out front leading it. He's got about almost a second lead over this man Hammonds, who is getting a little out of pressure here from Tucker. Tucker's on his back door. Bruschmacher right there, too, with him, with Miller. Three of those guys in a pack.
It's a nice little pack indeed. And I just want to talk about paint schemes for a second. I know I like a good paint scheme. You like them as well. I love that 8 car and what it's looking like. The nice bright white with that neon green. The green, of course, symbolizing the Fast 5 challenge. But it just looks so good, especially with the gold accents he has.
There you go. That's your good shot over right there. Like you said, and I'm with you, and I love how guys take their time in on the paint schemes and so forth, so on, and white and gold. It really is a good contrast with paints and right there. It's Hammond on the outside of him. Gonna get this spot. Hammond's been able to hold on to second all night long. Tucker's there though.
That dogleg shortcut, we're going to talk about it all day, about how you need to be careful whenever you come back. Do you think you're clear? Do you think you're not? It's your responsibility if you cut and somebody doesn't, about joining safely. But at the same time, you don't want to give the person on the outside too much room to where they can have a decent run into 1 and 2. As you see the 8 with a little wiggle there out of 4.
There you see Hammond along with it. Bruschmacher right there too with Miller. And you got Duncan right behind him too. And it's a battle heating up right here. Around about second, third, fourth, and fifth. Battle. Look at Tucker. Here on the back door. About to give him a stamp on the back end of that car.
And Tucker's car, it's not bad in that dirty air we like to speak of as holy send-in did we have from Kreutzmacher.
Woo! Yeah, and he had to hang on to it. Almost lost it there. Going to give up a lot of spots to Miller and Duncan. Seen all night
Main's
long.
coming through as well.
Yeah, he's seen all night long there too, Wes. Get a little bit shaken and you give up some spots, but these two are back at each other. Tucker might eventually get him.
I think Tucker might eventually get him. He's going to be working on him a lot. That's going to invite the cars right behind him to come join this battle as well.
Absolutely. Tucker's
washed up the racetrack a little bit.
A little bit of, said, look, I'm going to take all the room I can, and there you go. Tucker makes it up to second. Now, does he got enough muscle to run down Phillips? Because that's been the man, and you're starting to see Hammond around. Looks like that car's getting a little tight going into the turns. He washed up the track there.
Washed up the track a little bit, but Tucker's, he also dove it really deep in there, I think, wanted to stick it around the outside of Tucker. So it might be overdrove the corner, but at the same time, he is falling back a little bit as the 31's into the wall off of 2.
Yeah. That right here looks like Hammond's. Now the tires. Car's looking a little bit tight in the middle of the turn, allowing those guys to get up underneath him, but just can't quite get those runs off the turn. You see Miller trying everything he can. And ultimately, he will make the pass. He's there getting off the turn, just not able to make it stick.
Here through 3 and 4, if he gets a good center of the corner, he might be able to stick it, but no, Hammond's still holding tight around the outside.
Comes Duncan, too. Going to bring his nose into the picture. Miller makes it around. The inside car there, actually Duncan got a little bit tight in himself. Kind of washed up the track almost in the inside there. Hammond a little bit had to get out of it.
Yeah, it's this long run. You've got a lot to think about. Think about your fuel, think about your tires, but don't forget you are in the middle of a race. Don't just think about yourself. There's cars all around you. So keep your head on, know where you are related to everyone else.
Right now, it's all Phillips out front. That last lap, though, Tucker was a touch faster. Must have been about a half a second about a half a tenth faster than him. So he is catching him. Problem is, it's 1.3 seconds between the difference between Tucker and Phillips. And they're walking away. Boys, watching this battle back here with Miller, Hammond, and Duncan. As Duncan is still working over Hammond's, trying to see if he can't get that spot away.
And we said this before earlier in the broadcast. I know we've said it multiple times. It's possible to pass at this track. It's not like Auto Club Charlotte where there's a lot of dirty air to move around. There is still dirty air, but with so many lanes, it's a little bit less effective. So you can make passes, but it's not easy. You still have to make a setup, and you might be fighting side by side for laps on end. Though Duncan there finally makes that pass. Now he's going to look forward to the car ahead of him, try to go get third.
Absolutely. Right now, out front, still Williams. Duncan able to make that pass. Hammond still falling back. That car looks like it's just giving up the ghost here on the long run. Those tires maybe just feeling a little pressure.
Maybe just a little bit. Main's working his inside, and there's not quite a freight train ready to come by him. Car's a little bit spread out through these longer runs, but it's going to slowly start dripping back, dripping position after position.
The lonely feeling when that car just will not rotate through the turn. That's what it looks like it's doing right now. It just will not. It wants to shoot up the track on him. It's been kind of a tight feeling, so he knows the adjustment he's going to have to make when they come in the pit lane. As you see Boyles right behind him with car. Gruschmacher right there too. No, he is actually falling back a little bit. Remember, he was up front there for a little while. He's back here in 9th with Jenningsman, and back here in the 10th place spot. But actually, Jenningsman is up 19 spots, so he's actually clawed his way back from the back up pretty good through this field.
That sneaky fast driver, and it's what I love. It's what I love about him. I want to call him the underdog every single race. He doesn't qualify the best, but he's there at the end, just slowly picking his way through the field until it matters.
Can't count him out. Like a little slow killer out there on the track. field. Keeping strong. Jenningsman there. Sanchez right behind him. Jurgensen there along 2 in the 12. So these guys are keeping everybody kind of, close in mind here a little bit throughout the field. Holloman, Omacheski, falling back 5 back here. Cars up 17. And it's been Williams out front, and boy, Tucker's trying to catch him. He's got it down to 1.3, 1.2. They're kind of swapping speeds in lap. One lap, one's faster. The other lap, the other one's faster. So they're kind of keeping that distance about even.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sparse traffic, which I think is making the difference. You see, you've got a car in between them, lapped car, and otherwise, I want to say the 24 is faster. I hate to say it, he's just got a dominant car right now.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as he's in clean air and not having to pick through cars ahead of him, he's going to keep increasing that gap.
Looking good so far. Been a dominant man, like you said, up top all night long. Phillips out front. We've been watching some of these battles to the field. You got Hammond right here, and actually these guys back at each other again. That's Boyle's car right there too in the mix. They're going to go door to door, neck and neck. If one of those guys can get that position, that's around about the 7th, 8th place spot. That's
right in front of
is.
Best battle of the track, and right in front of them, Hammonds, who we've seen dropping back. So it's going to eventually turn from these two side by side to them still find it out, trying to get past the 26.
So good. His car got enough to get up underneath him, take the spot away. Quite yet. Was able to hold him off. Remember, Boyles had that awesome save. I want to say the save of the night so far.
Right there, you saw a car get a little bit of a wiggle off of 4. It's given Boyles a good gap as you've got Grootsmacher taking it up the inside of the 36.
Grootsmacher there. He says, I'll take that from you there, car. Car falls back behind him. Jenningsman back there too, sitting still in the 10th place spot. So this is where you start seeing the guys that are very good, got it set up on the long run. You can just pick them off one by one because we've had a pretty good long green flag run so far. And it takes me back to that question of if we get green flag pit stops, how far do you think these guys go? They pitted on lap 52. Getting close to what? Almost 50 lap stint on these. Next is, I don't really consider it a short track. It is over a mile long.
I'd call it a medium short oval to give it the best. It's not quite the intermediates
like
you
Richmond,
typically know of.
Richmond, not as big as Richmond. No, it's not a mile.
And you want to talk about pit stops. As I said, I've got 4th place right now. I've got Duncan's onboard going on the TV to look over at every now and then. About 90 laps of fuel they can hold, so they can go for a while, but I think it's going to be more reliant on tires.
And I'm gonna stand corrected. Wrong. This is a mile track. It just does not look like a mile track. It doesn't look like your typical prototype mile style track, like a Dover. Dover's a mile track, and it looks like a short track. This does not look like a short track. Now, I know we could sit here all night long going back and forth, and a lot of people, anything a mile or less, I consider it a short track. So,
yes,
I know the old thing is, well, it's going to be for 3.8. Oh, good. I just say mile. This is kind of deceiving the way this track it looks. Just looks bigger than a mile track. If you put, the look of what Dover looks like and it's a mile.
And I think that might also be due to the fact of how wide this track is, makes it look a lot bigger than it is.
And I'm agree with you there too. And that's something. But the banking and how, like you said, how wide it is, and so forth and so on. I'll go along. I agree with that. It's kind of deceiving on how big the track is. So, yeah, in a nutshell, being that this is to me technically a short track style race, Does not drive like one though. Very speedy style race. I mean, they get some pretty good speeds here. I was, I'll just reference to the and throw it. If you look at the far corner, they are getting the speeds of almost 140 some mile an hour here, almost 150 some. The 160 right there. So that's some speed for for a short track.
Some speed indeed. As you see, Jorgensen, he makes the move there on Ginningsman. Ginningsman starting to make a little bit of a fall back. He's lost a couple of spots, but again, you're about halfway through the run, so is it the tires? Is what I'm thinking is I think they're going to rely more on tires to determine when to pit than gas. Gas, you got a good ways you can go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think the tires are what's going to make up here. Obviously, with this being in the fixed style setup realm, it's all depending on how your setup is. And you mentioned that earlier. Do you have a long run? Do you have a short run? How you got this thing set up? Is it balanced? How much of those tires are going away? We actually talked about right here with Hammond, who's been the one who has actually fallen off. And I think we can see it. Those tires right now, you can see he's falling up to the middle of the track, which tells us that car's getting a little bit tight. It just won't rotate through like it would before, won't stay down on the bottom. A little bit of setup, maybe a little bit of tires, like you said, going away. So that's just something he might have to think about. Can I handle it until I get to the pit stop, or do I just absolutely have to come in pit road and I'm losing too much? And right now he looks okay.
It looks okay. His car's definitely stabilized. He's not falling back quite as much as he had. But at the same time, speed, the whole lap times have fallen off throughout the whole field. They've lost about a second and a quarter from their fastest laps to what they ran just last time around.
Right here, too, with Hammonds, those two guys, and you see Hammonds trying to pull. He's about a second back. Excuse me, that's Duncan and Maines. The lap traffic right there, too. We were talking about him. He's back here in the back. Boyle's another one. Remember, I had that wild spin earlier. He had to save, though, on it. Been able to come back up here to 7th. So been able to fight back. Too far amongst all these drivers.
Had those couple of cautions early, but boys seem to straighten it out. They've got a nice long run going. I want to see some green flag pit stops, whether it's going to be in another 40 or so laps or if it's going to be sooner depending on tires. It's going to be an interesting way to play it, because if you're stuck on pit road when a caution comes out, if you've made your pit stop and you're then stuck a lap down, it's going to be a little bit hard to get back up to the front, especially if you're one of these guys that have been top 5 all night.
And I agree with you, and I want to see the strategies of what these guys do, as far as when it comes to tires. And, we reference to the real world of racing. We've seen a lot of wild strategies this past weekend with all the series, 2-tire, 4-tire stops. And we've seen some 4-tire stops win. We've seen some 2-tire stops win it out here, too. But it'll be interesting to see if it comes down to the line here at the end, what some of these drivers do. And then what do they do on their green flag spot here is you're seeing a good battle around about the 10th place spot. You get the Jurgensen, Gruschmacher right there too, with Sanchez. But he's kind of climbing on the top of each.
All over each other is right. You've got, it's not exactly side by side battling. It's just a lot of close quarters. You're right up behind somebody hoping they make a move. Just get them off their mental game a little bit and take advantage of it. Slowly pick your way through the field. Don't necessarily have to be side by side to have a battle.
No. Yeah, it's strategy here, too. It's a mental type game, like you said. I mean, you got Gruschmacher right here and Jurgensen there, too. Now, there's a lap machine in between them. Let's see if I can't get a Mains. There's Boyles. Okay, that's a little bit better there. You've got Carr and you've got Boyles right there, two battling. They have a lap car. So, like what you mentioned, it's not always side by side, but the guy is close enough to you. He's going to keep you honest. You can't get out there and overdrive your car and don't want to get too aggressive, because if you make one little slip, the guy behind you that close right there, which actually would be Carr, he's going to slip right up underneath you here. And a move like this too here, Wes, it's not a, hey, look, I'm going to dive bomb you in a turn. It's hey, look, I'm back here. I'm knocking a little bit. You know, you got to remember I'm here.
Yeah, and it might seem like he's dive bomb, taking it lower and gaining just a little bit, but it's more so just showing your presence. So, like you said, say, hey, I'm here. Don't forget about me. Just don't run right behind him. Put your nose up the inside a little. Maybe get him worried, get him to overthink it, and slide up the track more than they want to be.
You see it right there, too. And then when he appears, he's out of his rearview mirror. Then he appears right back into his rearview mirror. Another interesting thing here, too, is they're running this track in 4th gear. I mean, that's, there he went in 5th. And that's what I was about to say is I saw in the truck series, some guys were shifting, the real truck series that is, they were shifting and some weren't. And, you know, it's like here, you can run this track almost in 4th gear, be just fine. You don't have to hit 5th too many times.
No, and keeping shifts to a minimum actually gains you a little bit of time. You lose a little bit of speed with each shift, just whether you've got to slow the car down, you got to hiccup off the gas a little bit, maybe, but doesn't lose you just a little bit of time, but not enough. As you see, Carf, he's been wrapping that bottom amazingly, just able to keep it right on the apron throughout middle and then exit, which gives him some great runs here, which is that'll get to the inside. Oh, contact.
Bulls just had a flashback. He's going, you got to be kidding me. He said, I didn't been in this picture one time before, and almost he had it happen to him again there. His car ran it down in there a little bit too hard, barely got it inside, but it was just enough to get Bulls upset to where he could get up underneath him.
Just enough, and then Sanchez poked his nose just inside, trying to think about 3 wide, then backed out, thinking better of it, saying, now's not the time for that. You can be aggressive, but let's run this out a little bit longer.
Yes, it is. I mean, you see right now, Bulls is going to try to get it back down on the inside, see if he can do anything. Looks like he's going to take that spot right back from Carr. Carr's going to fire back on the outside. And is it just me, or does it look like maybe Carr's at front end? Might just be the paint job, but looks like damage on it, but it might just be the paint job.
It might just be the paint job mixing with the
look
lights
at
around
it right
the track.
there. Yeah, because I think it is. It's that yellow, how it comes on the split on the bottom there. It just kind of makes it look like front's kind of beat in just a little bit. Kind of one of those optical illusions.
That's going to be really tight off the corner. A really bad spot to catch a lap car right off corner. You got to change your line if he's sitting there in it.
Oh, good heads up there by Carr. And you know, obviously, man, you know, Boyle, he recognized it too, man. Sanchez there too. So this is a top-notch battle going on here between these three.
It is, and if they're not careful, they're going to slow each other down. And then Grutzmacher, he's sitting right behind him. He might take up any scraps left if something happens.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Grutzmacher, man, back there too. He's lurking in the weeds going, all right, guys, if y'all mess up, you know, we've talked about it many times tonight. Guys just sit back there, ride a little bit. Then, you know, boom. Got Jurgensen, man, back here too. Now he's a little further off. He's about a 1.4 seconds back. He's got Carr right there with him too, with a more of a throwback to Richard Petty days. That's what it kind of looks like, dude.
I see the STP car a lot in that as well. That's what I always want to say. It looks like.
I mean, it's he's got the, what is it, Team Birdie Racing there, Callaway too, but yeah, more it references more to me back to the Richard Petty. And we got our first pit stops, Tucker, pit road. Okay, so first green flag stop of the night. Lap 120, so you called it, you said, what, about 90 laps? That's going to put them, we're up at lap 52, that'll put them around, that's
70
80,
or so.
Yeah, 70, so predicting, but along the lines.
And you see, I think that's the 69 of Ginningsman. He's also inside getting some service done, though he came down the lap earlier.
Oh.
Or no, that's Cole Macheski, rather. My bad.
Yeah, Cole Macheski. 4 tires. coming off. 4 tires of fuel for the man right there, Tucker. I think you're still right though on around about that probably 80 to 90 some lap mark. Tucker coming in a little bit earlier than what you were talking about earlier on. Let's just see with our leader out here, Phillips, though. It'll be interesting to see how long he is. But, he got a 4.5 second lead, though. He can kind of pretty much come in when he wants. Not really falling off the pace a lot. I mean, his last lap was a 65 to 77. He was a solid over 10th faster than the rest of the field. So he can pretty much just come in the pits when he wants. He's got Hammond on pit road along with Boyles now.
Yeah, now this is where you don't want to see a caution if you're on pit road now or if you've already made it, because you're going to be stuck a lap down. It can be a time gain. You've got fresh tires compared to everybody's old tires, but there's also that very large risk of if you've made your pit stop and a caution comes out, you're now stuck 1 or 2 laps down.
Hey, absolutely. Pit box good. I talk about a lot, man. Little mistakes on oval tracks. A lot of them can be made when it comes to road racing. There's a lot more variables there. In oval racing, the pit road is the #1 area, and there's a lot of times I like using
caution, yellow
and
flag.
man, you just jinxed it. You said caution on the track. Wow. Tucker, who just came in on the pits, spinning. Uh-oh. Oh, he got a little contact, I think. Go back to watch it again just to see. Just slightly right there, brought him around, but back on watch. Yep, just a little bit from the 33. They just got together. You just mentioned it, man, Wes. You don't want to get caught on pit road because that got Sanchez, Salter, Hammonds, Zozak, and all those guys, Tucker and all them guys, Cole Macheski on the lap down mark. Wow.
As much as I hate to say, I didn't mean to jinx it. It happened. So this is going to shake stuff up. Tucker's been the fastest car of the Fast Five. He's been up second or third the whole race long. Now, meanwhile, it's going to go to mains at this point. But it's just hard to see.
That's a tough break. I mean, you can't predict it. You don't know, how it's going to go. Obviously 4 tires. That actually only leaves 11 cars on the lead lap. And if you're the other guys, you got no choice but to do a wave around. I guess the good news, if there is good news here, you've not used a lot of tire. Before the caution came out, there's only about, they're looking at not quite 10 lap difference on the tires. Cole Macheski pitted on lap 118, 116 there. Tucker pitted. Tucker with that spin, unfortunately, he's going to stay out. With that spin, I'd say he probably needs to come back in. We've seen tonight what spins do to tires. Man, this shakes it up right here.
Shakes it up a lot, and I don't want to put any... As much as you want to blame the 33, I don't want to put any blame on him. He was on an old set of tires. Tucker was on new. Tucker definitely faster. Tires just gave out on 33 and gave up that contact. I don't want to put that on the 33 at all. That's very much a racing incident.
Yeah, just those 2 guys getting up there, man, racing each other, and just one little mishap. We've seen it tonight happen, and unfortunately, Tucker, wrong place, wrong time. But this man here has been in the right place at the right time all night long. His lights off on the pace car. It's Phillips up front. Does Miller got anything for him? Because no one has all night. Pace car is back in. Phillips is going to lead the pack and lead the charge here as a lot of the wave arounds haven't even got back up to the end. Maybe they'll get back here before the restart on this one. The restart zone, like you mentioned earlier, is just way since they redid the track. Way down here past. There it is. Green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Check up in the
Little checkup, and again, a great launch by the 24 mains. He's going to put it up the inside looking for second already.
Haynes right there too. He's up 18 spots. Miller's along with him. Duncan's there too. You got Jurgensen, Grutzmacher right there too in the 7th place. Latham, Jenningsman too. And 3 wide back here.
Caution, yellow
Oh,
flag.
caution.
And there's Maine sideways.
Oh, what happened to Maines? Let's go back and watch. He's up here battling for second. Lost it. Cold tires right there. That's the only thing you can say. Cold tires, a lot of throttle. You know, we've mentioned that throughout, you know, the whole entire season here. It just seems like these cup cars have a tendency just to snap loose. They have that snap to them, and the next thing you know, boom, you're around. But how do you fix that? How do you? I mean, unless you tighten the car up way tight. I mean, is there? There's only a couple ways I know you can fix it. Like this car has that tendency.
We talk about the open setup and how loose guys want to run. The only way I can think about fix that is, like you just said, tighten it way up. But at that point, you're going to lose so much time. You're going to be off throttle so much through the turns. You're losing spots consistently. It's just that fine line of loose versus tight, and it's just everybody having their own style. It's just brings so much difficulty, I want to say, with how it gets all the races.
Yeah, you got to get that happy medium. You know, we've talked about between the setups. You know, have the happy medium. Not you want to, you know, run it right there on the edge, or run it, you know, like I said, a little bit tight. You know, you want the fastness out there, but you also want a good handling car, and that's tough when you tell your crewman, yeah, I want the thing to handle like it's on rails, but I want to go fast too, and they're going, yeah, and I want a 4-leaf clover too. So sometimes that's a tough woman to get. And that takes you back to that conversation you were talking about before, like how do you set the car up? Because these are two different turns. You know, you got 1 and 2 that's different as opposed to 3 and 4. So you've got to pick which one you want to be better in. I would think 3 and 4.
I lean on having a better car in 3 and 4. Just getting that run to the start finish and then also through the dog leg is a little bit more important on my eyes, at least. 1 and 2, with how many different lines you have through that, you can kind of deal with it a little easier, as opposed to 3 and 4. You really want to hold on to that bottom and wrap the apron.
Definitely. I can see that too, especially with how long this is to the start finish line. Most you don't have that advantage coming out of 3 and 4 to get to the start finish line. You're going to see it right here, folks. I mean, you're coming out of, this would be 1 and 2. Then you go down the whole entire back stretch. See it get to the restart zone, which would be 3, coming out 3 and 4. Like what you said, been able to go down the stretch here, get into that dog leg. So I'm with you there. So here we go. Green flag.
Green,
Miller.
green.
Phillips and Miller there. Nobody's had anything for Phillips on these restarts all night long, though. I mean, Miller right here is going to look.
Going to dive it into 1 and 2, use a little bit of that apron, but not quite able to get anything done. He's clear for second, though. Duncan clear third. Carr sitting there fourth.
Miller right there on his back door. Able to kind of close in. Nobody has been able to tonight. Meanwhile, you got Jurgensen and Grutzmacher right there, too, in a good battle. Jenningsman coming up, too. They're 3 wide back in the back here.
And again, it's this middle of the field, not quite the leaders where you're seeing a lot of action, a lot of 2 wide, sometimes poking 3 wide. Cars taking it up the inside, may begin to run along the outside. Maines, though, he's right there in front of Tucker now for the fast 5.
Yes, it is, man. Hyatt up there, too, up 15 spots there in 10th with Latham along with him. See the battle right here, too, around about 7th place spot. That's Carr, Jurgensen and company. As the big mess going on back here, too, into the wall a little bit. That's back there with Boyles and Hyatt. That's back there around about the 16th place spot. Man. Battles all over the track.
And we might have pointed out it being Maines and Tucker right there on top of each other, Hallman right with them, but it's actually Duncan that leads it. Duncan sitting a pretty fourth right now.
He is. 15 spots right there, too. Parker right there behind him. Sitting in fifth with Carr up 7 spots. One, you called it. Quiet, man. Jenningsman. He's up 21. Okay, man. Right now, Jenningsman up 21 spots, sitting in 8th. Good run for him. Got Maines right behind him, too. Man, Tucker trying to see if he can't pull it off. It's kind of mid-pack run. About 10th place spot. I don't say mid-pack, but about 10th place spot. Good little battle here. Tucker, man, Hammonds. Latham and company. It's all Phillips out front. He's got the lead. Miller trying to see if he can't get him. It's got Latham here. Oh, there's a little contact there with Latham. Hammond's trying. Hammond's going to get that spot from him. Sanchez right there behind him, too. The 28 up in the wall. That's actually a Sauter. A little tight. Got it pushed up against the wall, too. The pass halfway in this one, folks. Been a good one. Got maybe a little less than 100 to go. Going to bring up the question, though, do they have to make another pit stop here tonight? We've seen them go roughly 70 to 80-some laps, so it's going to be very, very close. Obviously, if there's a caution, sure, they're coming in the pits. That's a no-brainer. They're definitely going to come in. What happens, man? It's been a good, solid race so far. It's been Phillips up front, dominating tonight here under the lights here at Phoenix. Good one here for the Spartan Sim Racing League Master Series. Fast 5 race number 2 here tonight, folks. I'm going to where we're going to step away, take a quick break. We'll be right back here in a few.
There's an immeasurable bond that forms when you join the service. You'll do anything to protect and defend those at your side. And pushing the limits of your well-being is all just part of the job. But when this shared experience ends, it's easy to carry that mission-first mindset with you and neglect your own health and mental fitness. Team Red, White, and Blue understands these challenges and knows that together we can show veterans that their best days are ahead by providing opportunities to build healthier lifestyles right where they live and work. Through races, service projects, workouts, and a cutting-edge mobile app, our members develop a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. With a growing force of over 200,000 strong, we invite all veterans, families, and non-military supporters.
And to know that you didn't just join a listserv or download an app. You joined a team composed of real people, over 200,000 strong, who are veterans on active duty in the National Guard or reserves or civilian supporters. And these people, who we refer to as the Eagles, want you to get involved in Team RWB. Why is it so important for you to become an active member of the team? Because when you do, we know that it will improve your mental and physical health, help you to develop new and meaningful relationships in your life, and provide you with a sense of purpose that comes from belonging to something bigger than yourself. Over the past decade, veterans struggling with the invisible wounds of war and post-military life have told us how important physical fitness has been to them. Running has helped veterans battle nightmares. Triathlons have helped with headaches, and CrossFit has enabled them to sleep better. These fitness activities, along with others, have made them more confident and healthy people. Unfortunately, millions of veterans have forgotten about the power of physical training in their lives. So as you get involved and see the power of Team RWB in your own life, I hope that you feel inspired to reach out to other veterans and encourage them to follow in your footsteps. In closing, I want to again thank you for stepping forward and joining Team Red, White, and Blue. We're fired up to have you on the team, and I know that you're going to be flying the Eagle with pride for a long time.
And then if you want to, just a little bit about how the foundation helped you.
You know, I was in a pretty serious deal, as most people know about. It's a pretty tough deal, very traumatic for my family. A lot of stuff that we went through that people would never understand. Without the assistance from the Steve King Foundation and several other donors as well, we could have come out of that thing in financial ruin. But it just takes a lot out of your family just to go through rehabilitation, all the medical bills. There's so many hidden expenses and stuff that you would never know about until you actually get involved in something like that. And even if you help somebody out with 500 or 1,000 or 100, whatever it is, it means a ton to the person, just to be able to live and to get through these things. It takes an ungodly amount of money, time, effort, patience, with the families, the doctors, to be able to get through a traumatic experience. And, with the Steve King Foundation, that makes everything a lot better.
All right, back here, folks, and under caution there, you saw break is what happened. Let's go back and do it one more time. Actually, it was 2 cautions back green, and we got another caution. Here's Bozak here was involved along with Hyatt, who just got together.
And that's the most recent caution we had while we were under break. The first one, it seemed like Jorgensen got a little bit of contact, maybe from Tucker in the rear, and then he went and collected mains, and I think also Ginningsman as well on that first caution.
At this first lead change of the night, Miller got out front of Phillips, beat him on pit road. And here's the thing too, beat him on pit road, not by his pit stop, but by total pit time. And, I talk about that a lot. Get out front now. Let's see what Miller, can he hold him off? And does Phillips got anything to maybe try to get around these guys?
I think what's really helped Phillips a lot is he was the control car with all those restarts, so he was able to go at his pleasure. Everybody else had to react to him. Now he's got to be the one to react well. Miller's going to be the one that can go as he wishes, as one. Dear gods, he can go as he wishes as soon as he's inside that restart box. It's now up to Phillips to react to the 97 and try to stay close to him going into 1 and 2.
Here we go. Lights off pace cars in pit road. Miller up front here. Phillips right beside him. Gets set to go to the restart zone here tonight at Phoenix. And
Green
flag, and like you said, Miller gets the jump, and Tucker's able to get that move on the inside here. So Phillips in some territory style waters here tonight. Something he hasn't been swimming in. And this is another thing that can hurt a driver too. You've been out front, you've been dominant, you know your car's set up well to be out front, but you don't know how well it is in traffic. And I've seen this time and time again, when they get in traffic, that car just falls off. I'm saying that's what's going to happen to Phillips, but right now it looks like he's struggling a little bit because he knows what it'll do out front, but he does not know what it'll do, as opposed to Tucker. Tucker's like, hey, I know what mine will do in traffic. See what it'll do out front here.
Yeah, and Phillips, you saw in that restart, didn't get the jump. Tucker immediately got through, clear to second. Typically, we've seen it, if you restart second, you tend to keep the spot. Tucker now, he's working on the inside trying to get to the lead, not having to worry about it. Phillips in front of him, but instead it's Miller.
Absolutely, right there. Battle for the lead. Tucker's on the inside. Miller's to the outside. Looks like Tucker's going to drive that thing in. He's had an eventful night tonight so far. Been in a couple times here. And he is out front trying to battle back. Went a lap down earlier on. Had to take a wave around. Got back on the lead lap. Now he's up here battling for the lead. Taking the lead, that is. As the man who was dominated all night long, that would be Phillips. Miller's not done with him yet.
I'll just give him a little bit of a nut, a little bit of a scrape, exactly. Not a bumper nudge going into 1 and 2. But Tucker clear through to first. Phillips, meanwhile, sitting there battling with Hammonds, trying to get into third, trying to work his way back up to the lead.
And you see it right there, too. Tucker, Miller, Hammond. Phillips is trying everything he can. Boy, he's got boils right there breathing down his back door.
And as you just mentioned, I don't think he quite knows what to expect with his car in traffic. He's been out front leading the whole time around. So now I was saying I wanted to write him off as it was going to be a walk-off victory. Now it's going to be a little bit challenging.
You know, and now's the time where he's got to make the adjustments. He's got to see, and I've seen this time and time again, guys get out front, to get very comfortable out front. They know what the car's going to do. It's just when they get back in traffic. And that's why I say sometimes if you've got a dominant car, it's good to maybe try to, hey, look, let me drop back to second or third just to see what this thing will do in some dirty air. See if I can kind of get an idea, especially when they have an open setup like
Testing those waters, indeed, probably the best thing to do.
right now. Tucker's still the man out front. Got Miller right there before. Look at this big battle going on here. Around about 6th, 7th, 8th place spot. They're 2x2. You got Duncan, Carr. We got Gruschmacher right there in the mix too with Carr.
That 2x2. Carr looking to make it 3.
Chastity brings in out here. She says, let's go, Tucker. Yeah, Tucker's had an wild night tonight. Down front leading. Here's the hot battle. Duncan. Oh.
Oil's there as well.
Tucker right now has got the lead with Miller, Hammond. Those three cars are kind of pulled away, got their own single file. You got to look behind them, though. With Boyles, Phillips, Gruschmacher there with Duncan, Carr. They're all side by side. Pretty much, clear back to the field here a little bit as you guys' cars getting into the wall back there.
Yeah, and great side by side as you mentioned, you've got Latham and Holloman sent back here, and then, hey, look, it's another car, and then there's also Cole Macheski. He's found his way back up after being a lap down with that pit stop and then yellow.
Absolutely, up to 12th. He's in this mix too. So if he can't grab anything he can, you got Carr there. Sanchez along with him, but Latham, Holloman too there. Trying to get it fanned out a little bit. Phillips been the man all night long. He's still stuck right there though. As Gruschmacher.
The yellow flag is out.
Button when I saw Bruce, he was up front. Let's see what happened to him. He was in this mix. He was right there behind Phillips. He had to get out of it a little bit. Oh, he just came around.
Got out of it a little bit, try to gas it back up, not to lose too much momentum, and Carr just didn't agree with it underneath him. Spun the tires, wiggled underneath him, and then just spun it out.
Ooh, okay. So at what point do you come on pit road here? I mean, I'm going to say if you're back there in 20th something, why not? Tires come in. Let's say if you're back there 17th, 18th, not going to go any further back than 20th.
Well, it looks like everybody's going to answer your question. They're all going to come. But
there we go. What tires?
They taking 4, taking 2.
Well, and see, now that's... I'm going to say 4 at this point. If it maybe was a little closer, I might say the 2. Maybe had about 10 or 15 to go. I might say 2, but I'm not saying that nobody won't take 2 here. But I feel like 4 would probably be better. Let's run a caution anyways. Flag doesn't work. At most everybody's taking 4 tires. Seen anybody else take 2 yet?
Not yet.
2. No. Gerlach, actually, Westwood, Gerlach took 2. Looks like they're the only ones. Playoffs took 4. Except for Latham and Salter, they did not pit. They stayed out.
It's worth a shot, I would say, a decent gamble. Their tires ain't exactly that old, about 20 or so laps, so they still got some life on them. But everybody else, brand new sticker tires, a track that's very good at passing. You're not exactly held up by the dirty air. So can make a good run. It might be a little hindrance, but hopefully not dropping too far back for those that did not.
This here, wow, you want to talk about going from the top. Phillips is going to go all the way back to 18th. Not sure if he got a penalty or not. Yep, he's coming. Not sure if he did. I mean, his pit stop was kind of normal. Not quite sure if he has to come back on pit road here. For some reason, he dropped all the way back. And tells me he got a penalty. Wow. Talk about dominance to having the worst feeling here tonight.
That's a heartbreak for sure. We both wrote him in as almost the guaranteed winner based on how he was going through those early stages. But now he's going to have to claw a lot back to have a chance to put his name in that hat.
Flag. We got a man up front there, Latham. He gets the jump with Tucker. Hammonds, man, right there along with him. There's a big battle's going to happen right here, right about the 7th place spot. These guys going 2 and 3 wide, and you know they're starting to get a little bit antsy up here too because we're getting down to the bottom laps. It's a battle for the lead here. Tucker said, you know what? I've had an eventful night. You know, on the flip side of that, Phillips is now having a bad night. He's had the go-to night. Now it's just turning all to bad and cautions out. Tucker's been the man as we got a big one, it looks like. So here, it looks like Macheski involved. Up here. Back there, and yep, tried to hold on to it. Oh, and not again.
Really tough break. Alfin's not had the greatest of days.
Now, Duncan was involved here too. Let's see what happened. He tried to avoid, and the thing just came out money, but actually the 88, there's where your pile up is. Wow. That collected a lot of them. That got those Zach. Let's just see from his point of view here. All these guys just trying to check up with each other. And 88 there, 28, 30.
To the 22, there's Ginningsman in it as well.
Oh. It says Miller, Hyatt, Holloman. You see the 69 just Holloman get, yeah, that happened actually in front of the, trying to woe up, I think. Holloman post maybe. Wow.
Oh, there's the big hit for Holloman right there at the end as he was trying to get it put back on the track. He spins it here. Now watch as he comes back onto the track. He tries to go high, give everybody room down low. And just right there, I think that was Art Nicotera that got him.
17. All right, but it still puts Tucker up front with Latham there with him too. Phillips was able to make up some ground. He got back up to 12th. Still going to need a little bit more help to get back up here to the front to where he was, you know, early on in this race. It's Tucker's game right now. I mean, this race has flipped for him. I mean, it started out as a disaster. Right now, it's looking pretty good for him.
That gamble that Latham took staying out paid off a little bit. A lot of the cars got caught up in that accident, so he's able to stay in second.
If he's able to hang on to, he didn't come back in. He's still on those older set of tires. Pace cars in. We're going back green here tonight under the lights of PHoenix Spartan Simracing League Master Series. This has been a thriller from the green on here, and it's about to get even better here as we get set to close this one out. Damage on that number 88 there, the Gerlach machine.
Green flag,
restart zone, green flag. Tucker's going to get the jump on him. And Latham hold off Hammond's man, or Hammond's going to be able to run right by him.
You'll hold him off for a lap or two, I would think, and then Hammonds is just going to fire it down. Or you know what? Right here, Hammonds fires it into 1 and 2 and clears the 18 before quarter exit.
And right now, the battle's going to pursue right here. You see that front end damage by the 88. We'll see how much it kind of hinders him here just a little bit. As Boyles has had an up and down night. He's back behind him there in 6th. You've got Gerlach with him too, with Holloman. They're all side by side trying to get everything they can because the laps are winding down here.
And down on them. These guys don't need to make another stop for fuel, at least tires. You might see them take the chance if a caution comes up.
Alder, man, coming around in the back here. We'll see if we can't maybe see what happened. Quick in that 28. It just went out from under him.
And thankfully, no other cars caught up with them.
Absolutely. Look at Boyles turning up the heat, man. He's got the wick on here tonight. He had the save of the night earlier, got way behind the 8 ball, and now has found himself back up here in contention. He's in 3rd place battling there around on the Duncan side.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the top two, Hammonds and Tucker, they've kind of scampered off into the distance. Boyles, get yourself clear, go run them down, make them wear their stuff out, and try to keep your own.
Yes, he is. Meanwhile, behind them, you've got Gerlach here trying to hang on for dear life with Latham, Holloman. It's like I said, the laps winding down. We're at lap 173 here, 2:30 tonight. Under lights at PHoenix, and well, this has definitely been one of these tracks where it has test the patience of drivers here, and I think that's what PHoenix does. It tests your driving skills a lot.
It does. It's a very technical track. It's, as we've mentioned, it's unique in its own way. It's a short. It's technically a short track. Technically not. Definitely doesn't drive like one. It's one of the many unique ones with its own layout where it's not that cookie style cutter track. It loop it in a lot with tracks such as Gateway or Darlington, where both ends of the track are not the exact same, different corner profiles.
With you there too, and that's it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of these guys here tonight have been just up and down. I mean, but Tucker's been the man who, like you said, has had the up and down night all night long. See it out front with Hammonds, and man who is trying to get back up here dominated Phillips. He's back up to 8th. I mean, he's not out of this, but he still had to make some adjustments on that pit stop. Right now, it looks like he might have made a little bit of it. He said, okay, you know, I hear you guys. I got back in traffic here, and now I know what the car maybe is doing. Go time for him.
Go time for sure, and it's cars aren't exactly side by side in front of him the whole way around. You got Maines and Holloman battling right in front of him. But otherwise, it's single file. It's something he might want to see a little easier to find some clean air onto his nose. Just pick them off one by one. Try to get back up there to Tucker.
Are so good. It's all Tucker out front in this one. Hammond's right there behind him. We got Boyles. We've got Duncan there too. Gerlach sitting in 5th. So they are spread out right now with Maines there in 6th. Holloman hanging on to 7th. Phillips is the man on the move though right now.
And I don't put him past it. Or I don't put it past him. He wants to be on the move. He knows he has a very good car. He wants to be back leading this race where he felt oh so comfortable for a great majority of it.
And he was definitely bad fast early on. And he's able to slice and dice through this field pretty good right now. You see the battle behind him there with the 00. That's actually a lap down car, excuse me. Holloman. Yeah, you see Phillips right now trying to do everything he can. Maine's up front here taking over on Gerlach. Gerlach got that damage, and I think it's probably affecting a little bit of that car. I mean, it won't affect him too much here because it is considered a short track like we were talking, but they run up on the back end there. Lap car to 17, but wow, Phillips closing.
He's closing fast. You saw it right there through 3 and 4, just wrapping that bottom oh so nice. And that's a little bit dangerous. We talk about how you might use advantage of the apron, go below the yellow line. 3 and 4, you don't want to touch that. You touch that, your car is going to shoot up on you. It does not like touching the apron in 3 and 4, but you still need to be right on top of that yellow line to probably have the fastest corner in that area.
Yeah, and you see it right there. He's taking over. That's going to be the 6th place spot from Gerlach, and he's going to see if he can't take Maines up here in the 5th. Now, I mean, we don't want to see it. We want to see it go green, but I think right now Phillips is thinking, me, you know what? If I get another caution here, that might very well put me in a good spot because he is a solid 5 seconds back from the leader, so he's definitely going to need some help by the time they enter here. And a caution definitely is, at this point, is what Phillips is probably wanting one more. That way he can get this thing bunched back up.
At the same time, I don't think he wants a caution. We've had a couple good green flag runs, and he had the best car through him. So he might not want that caution. He wants it to go green because he knows his car's better towards the end.
Yeah. Can get out of here. Down to 4.9. He's about a 10th faster. Right there, he was less than a 10th faster than the leader. A little trouble getting around Maines. All depends on how quick he can get around these guys here. Duncan and Maines and so forth. You see the top guys. That's Tucker out front. Hammond's right there too. Boyles, he's hanging on. Boyles and Tucker. If it finishes right here, these two guys, they've had an eventful night.
Eventful. Both of them involved in some accidents. Boyles, we talked about that save he had where he was pointing towards the inside wall at one point, but able to get his car corrected. He dropped down a good bit to about the mid-teens, maybe even 20th, and now sitting right here, 3rd place, looking at the leaders in front of him.
Yeah, it is. You see Boyles hanging on 3rd. Tucker out front right now, leading it. He's got Hammonds right here behind him. Lap car's trying to get back on the lead lap. And Duncan back here in the 4th place spot. As now we see Phillips taking over that spot from Maines, as he's the one that's on the move, as we were talking earlier there to the rest of the field. We've only got 14 machines on the lead lap. Go back here a little bit and see. That'd be Westwood on the tail end of the lead lap. Back in the 14th place spot. You got Hyatt back there in the 15th place spot. So, yeah. Not a lot of cars on the lead lap left here.
No, there's not. These are the cars that have kept it clean for the most part, dodging all the wrecks that have happened.
Man, out front, Tucker. Hammond's there. Closing in on the final laps here tonight. Good one here, Spartan Sim Racing. And we talk about it too. Fast five, and look at that in the top six running order. We've got 3 of the fast 5 up there. Duncan and Haynes. Tucker, the man out front.
And these 3 have been towards the front. Granted that there's been a little bit of yo-yoing with Tucker and Maines. They've gotten caught up in a pickle a couple times. Duncan, he's been very consistent, sitting around 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Absolutely. Duncan, like you said, sitting there. Up 14 spots, though, him and Maines. I mean, Maines up 15, Duncan up 14, 5th and 6th. Those 2 right there. Once it looks like they're going to battle each other as Phillips is trying to move away from them. Got about a half a second between the 2. Oh. Good run. This is so if you're Phillips at this point, I mean, I think time's just running out for him. He's not fast enough by time alone. I mean, he's a little over a tenth.
About a consistent 10th or so faster.
Yeah, he needs half a second. Bring that 4 second. Can he catch Boyles? I think he can catch Boyles.
He can get up to Boyles. I think he'd want to get to Hammonds. He could probably get to Hammonds. Getting to Tucker, though, definitely not going to help if you hit the wall like that.
No. I mean, that just shows you, though, he's driving that car, and he knows he's got to get up there. He's got to go. I mean, we've seen him claw his way back up to the front. He was way back there in the back. Get back up here. And I don't know if anybody's got anything for this man here tonight, Tucker. I mean, he has just went to the back, lapped down, got it back, got back up front, got himself in position, and we've seen whoever's out front kind of dominant.
Yeah, and we talk about clean, dirty air, and we've talked about PHoenix. It don't mean much, but it still means a little bit. And clean air, you just have so much air. It's cooling your engine, it's cooling your brakes, it's giving you the downforce you need through the turns. So out front, typically that car tends to dominate, but if you can get right up underneath them and get in their mind a little bit, make a mistake, then you can definitely see that just fade a little bit.
He is. Tucker, man, to this one here. PHoenix, Hammond right there behind him, trying to run him down. It's about a second lead between the 2. And that last time, well, it looks like Tucker was a little bit faster than he was. You got Boyle sitting back here in 3rd. Phillips, we've been talking about trying to see if he can't claw his way back up there and run him down. Duncan hanging on back here, the 5th. He's got Maines, though, back here on him. Right there in between them. Maines is trying everything he can to get up here on the back door there of Duncan.
It's not just those 2 fighting it out, just for who's and giggles to call it. That's who's going to qualify for the Fast 5 in 2 weeks. Duncan holds that last spot. Maines wants another chance at getting $10 for winning the race coming up.
Hey, there you go. Heck yeah. On the line, Fast 5. Duncan right there too. It's 2 of the Fast 5 drivers. They can't play into race number 3.
Race number 3.
Oh. Car back there behind him too. Those two guys get up there battling too hard, though, man. You got to worry about Carr getting up here.
And then that lap car, the 00 Van Squik.
Yep.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit of a troublemaker. He's putting the two ahead of him on edge a little bit, just with his speed. And it's allowed the 36. He's crept in just a little bit.
He has. The good thing there is, I will give him credit. He is seeing that those two guys are battling in position in front of him, because he was up there on the side, I believe, of Maines a moment ago, kind of trying to stay away here. You know, and we've talked about that in the past. At some point in the lap cars, okay, you know, I'm not going to make it forward. I'm not going to get back on the lap unless, you know, obviously get a little help with a caution or so forth and so on. So at some point, I don't want to impede too many guys up here battling. He's seeing this awesome battle here because Maines is all over the back door there, Duncan.
As we watch this battle, again, Phillips about a constant tenth or so faster than Tucker, about 0.2 faster than Boyles ahead of him.
He is. Tucker right now, magnificent run putting together here tonight. Yeah, he is a second and a half, 0.7 seconds in front of Hammonds. Boyles right there too, and Phillips has gotten that down to 1.2 seconds over Boyles. He's coming, but it's just, time's just running out. I'm going to still go back on what I said earlier. I think you caution if you try to catch Tucker. I think he might could get back here to the top three, though.
Yeah, I said how he had probably the best car on the long run, but I'm with you now. I think the car's evened out a little bit. Tucker at Clean Air's got about the same speed he had. Still, Phillips just a little bit faster, about a tenth every lap, but he needs 2-3 tenths in order to get up there to Tucker and really give them a fight.
He does. And a good bounce back here tonight. There in the fourth place spot. Schumacher, man, back here still sitting up there in the ninth. But got caught up in a little instant earlier on. Sherlock right there behind him in 10th. And hanging on to the 11th place spot. Bozak right there in the 12th. Latham, Westwood and company. Everybody's just kind of driving their own race. You can see the distance there between him and Hammond, the leader in the second place car. And the position between actually Hammond and Boyles not as big. It's only 0.8 seconds. See Phillips coming into the picture right there too.
Yeah, it's not exactly spread out much between second, third, and fourth. Got that large gap from Tucker to second of Hammonds. But then these three just slowly closing in on each other.
So we can see a battle here for a second. Keeps up. There's plenty of time left. I mean, we got 26 to go in this one here tonight under the light Phoenix.
That battle for second might be out of reach. But if these three keep closing on each other, Boyles just a little bit faster than Hammonds, Phillips faster than both of them, could have a nice battle for second within these final 5 or so laps if we get down to that point.
Phillips right now has closed it down to under a second. He's about 0.8 off. You can see him right there too. He will catch a little draft off of Boyles here soon. He was a tick faster than those guys up front. You can see Hammond and Boyles, they're running ones. I mean, they were within 100th of each other that last lap, whereas Phillips is close to a 10th, not quite, about 800ths off of them. That's still a little bit faster. That tells you getting to him and passing is going to be the subject here. He might be able to get to him, but getting around those two guys, and I think that's what Hammond wants to see. He wants to see Phillips get to Boyles and battle him, because that's going to help Hammond out more than it's going to help Boyles.
It's going to help Hammond out more than it will help Phillips. If Phillips has to battle around Boyles, Hammond's going to be able to scamper off a little bit and might secure second.
Yeah, because the more time that they sit back there and battle, and I've talked about this in the past. What's it take just a guy to get up there and just kind of just zoop right on by? Track like this, yeah, you're gonna have to be almost close to 2/10 to faster than a guy just to get by him and then just go shoot right on by him. Yeah, you'll eventually get around him, but we've seen all night long, even on older tires earlier on in the race, it still took 2, 3, maybe almost 4 laps for the guy to get around him because it's the way these turns are set up here at this track. So even if Phillips makes it there, Boyles is not going to make it easy for him to get around him.
No, he's not indeed, and it's really here 3 and 4, which is what I say is the more important corner. You see Phillips just able to wrap around the bottom there, keep it right along the yellow line. Boyles slides up just ever so slightly. That's where a lot of the time game is coming from for the 24.
Far so good. We're watching Boyles right here hang on the third, but we're also watching back here closely as Phillips. You see him in the picture. He is closing that gap up. He ran a 27.37. He ran a 10th faster right there. So he's going to be able to get to that back door and start knocking on it here soon on Boyles. And Hammonds is probably going to be like, I'm loving it because y'all two start battling side by side. I'm going to walk off into the sunset here tonight.
And as we're talking about this battle here for what's potentially third as the 23 way up the racetrack, the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th is also heating up. Duncan's just in front of Maines and Carr, who are side by side for 6th.
Now you see Phillips is there. What's going to happen? Is he going to be able just to go slide right by him, or is it going to take him a little bit? He drives it on the inside hard. Well, man, he made the move. He said, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to sit back here and battle. I got to go. And that's what Hammonds did not want to see.
I also think Boyles gave him a good grace there.
Yeah.
Boyles knew Phillips was faster and was not going to fight him much.
Whew, yeah, because ultimately, you can get back there and fight. You don't want to get each other in trouble, wreck each other, because Boyles will still come out of here with a good finish here tonight. And he's already had some close calls so far. That's probably going back in the back of his mind. How many times can I save this car tonight?
Yeah, and see right there, a little bit of wiggle out of 2 for Boyles. So car's not exactly feeling the nicest. Better just let 24 go. Keep your race as it is. Lose as little time to the cars behind as possible.
It's less than a second to Hammonds. Can he get up there to him? I just don't think he's got enough time to get to Tucker, as that's well in about almost a 3-second gap between the two with 17 to go here. But I think he can definitely get to Hammond. As you see right now, Tucker modulating into a lot of the traffic here. He's just did an outstanding job to put himself in this position, possibly win this thing here tonight.
Really great job, even with the setbacks he's had. So it's just, we've talked about mental games, the mind game. It's keeping yourself, despite the slip-ups, it's keeping yourself on the straight path. Just thinking, okay, that happened, head back down, drive forward. We can rebound from this.
Yes. Tucker comes right now to try to put himself in victory lane. Hammonds is trying to hang on here, though. He sees a hard charging Phillips coming. And I'll go back. Phillips would be like, you know what? We don't want to see it, but we talk about it. Caution right now. Tucker's probably the one who don't want to see the caution at this point. Phillips is probably going, yeah, that would at least let me get right there to have a shot.
Yeah, Tucker definitely doesn't want to see that, because then he's going to think, oh, the 24 is going to be right behind me. That's the one. If there's anybody that could spoil it for Tucker, if there was a caution, I'd want to say it's the 24 car.
Yeah. A lot of scenarios could play out in this one here tonight. PHoenix has been a good one. But the man out front, Tucker, right now, with Hammonds trying to hang on to second. Phillips trying to see if he can't run that man down and get that second place spot. Boyles, who's had a delightful style night tonight, has had a couple saves in that car, and he's sitting in 4th with Carr. Run by him there in 5th, and Duncan up 13 spots and sitting in 6th. Along with Maines firing back here in the 7th place spot up 4th. Sanchez there in the 8th. Bruce Mocker sitting in the 9th place with Gerlach there rounding out the 10th. Good night for some drivers. Not so good for a couple other ones out there. Old Macheski got involved with a few there. Carr, involved up with a couple incidents out there. So guys, men tonight just are like, we have to send it on the next week, see what we got.
Tucker coming right up here. Latham had that strategy earlier on during those last couple of cautions. Stayed out, had the oldest tires out of anybody, and now kind of coming back to bite him a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Whoa, boy, right there, Tucker lying a little bit. Tells you those tires are starting to give up a little. So when we go from short track racing to big style racing next week at Michigan here, so totally different. But you can start to see those tires. Yeah, I mean, that car's, it's wiggling a little bit. So, whew. We said we want to see. We said he didn't want to see a caution. He don't want to be the caution.
You don't want to see it, and you definitely don't want to be it. And it's been a nice long run. Last time these guys were on pit road was 160, so these tires are old. They're screaming a little bit. So it's how good are you going to be with keeping it underneath you?
Yeah, true. I mean, and at this point, he has a 2.3 second lead over Phillips, 1.2 lead over Tucker. I mean, he can, be a little bit easy. He's got clean track in front of him. Maybe one car right there too. I mean, we're less than 10 to go with 9 to go here. They'll chop off really quickly. A smaller style track, so just drive that car. Don't overdrive it at this point, because it looks like Phillips at this point has kind of just leveled off. Is a 10th faster than Hammonds. The lap car might help him a little bit here.
Yeah, Hammonds wants to get past Latham as quick as possible. Latham doesn't exactly have to move out of the way. He can race his line.
No.
Hammonds just not quite able to get around him, catching them at really bad spots where you want to catch lap traffic.
Yeah, normally I would say Hammonds probably wouldn't want to, and this is definitely not what he wants to see. Two cars side by side, especially when he's got Phillips breathing down his neck. Yeah, I would normally say Hammond's probably be like, you know what, I'm not going to push the envelope to go around these lap cars, but at this point he has to, and you can see Phillips is there. Now can Phillips get around this lap car?
I think you will easily there off of 3 and 4, definitely into 1 and 2. His car seems really happy, really planted.
This is the battle for second, folks. Closing in. 6 to go. Be 5 when they cross the line. Tucker still leading this one. Does Phillip got anything for Hammonds right here for second?
I say he's got second. He's going to get to Hammonds. He's going to get past him. His car's just a good bit better, especially through 3 and 4. He's able to stick it a lot tighter. Got good mid-corner rotation and then great speed off through 3 and 4.
You see it right there. Down the back stretch here. We'll head into 3 and 4, so let's just see. Able to hold right there going in, but middle off, like you said, through the dog leg. Oh, look at that. Wow. There he goes. Oh, he got tight on him. He had to get out.
Got tight on him, but he's definitely showed Hammonds that he's there. Hammonds is going to think about that. Don't give the 24 that bottom.
You know, and it also opens up that he's wanting Hammond to maybe make a move down there to maybe block and then upset Hammond's car to where he can make that move. So yeah, that's kind of why you show that hand. But he's there. I said he can get to him, but getting around him is going to be the thing. Battle for a second. Got 3 to go. Tucker out front, and it comes off the turn sideways.
Off the turn sideways. Great run, great momentum. Try to arc it in later, get a better drive off.
Right here,
and now
I think
dive it down here to the inside through the dog leg.
Caution's out. This is not what Tucker wanted to see. Tucker's probably banging the keyboard right now with his head going, you've got to be kidding me. Not sure he pretty much had this one in the bag. I'm not sure. Awesome. back here, put it back here a little bit. And had to be like a quick spin. Anybody knows out there, let me know. It's had to be like those quick spins that triggered the caution. Pit road coming off of him. See what happened. I don't know if it coming off. Chastity said he's yelling. I would be too. I mean, because they pretty much this race was his, unless he messed it up on his own. That is not what he wanted. I mean, obviously he's probably in back there. Let's go mains. It did flash up red with him. I think this is when the caution was already out at this point. So. Right. So, all right. Well, wow. And okay. Remember what I said earlier here, Wesley? You asked me about the four tires. Tucker Boyles took 2. Hammond's car, they took 4, along with Phillips, who took Crusher on pit. And I also talked about mental mistakes. Who Phillips made a huge one of a 19-second pit stop. So that pretty much almost killed his hopes of coming back up here. But you've got Hammond's on 4 tires. Phillips is going to be the next one, along with Holloman. All the other ones up there are on 2 tires. Hammonds is going to send this. We saw it in the truck series. My bad. We saw it in the truck series. We saw the 11, and we were watching that. And when he took 4 tires, he was marked back in like 12th or 13th. Thought his race was over. Remember, he took that thing down there almost 7 wide in the down there in the dog leg. Or in the other turn, but he was able to do that because of those 4 tires. A lot of it because of that. I think, watch out, folks, because Hammond's about to send this thing.
And he's got to be careful with it, too. He's not allowed to cut that dog leg the first lap on a restart. He's got to wait till the second. He's going to be, that is something here with SSRL. You cannot take that dog leg on the first lap of a restart. He's going to be so tempted, but he's got to keep it in his head. He can't do that.
If he can clear Boyles, that's going to be a key, too. And stay right on the back end. Here we go. Green flag. Tucker's got to run for his life. I just think those 2 tires might not hold up. We've seen all week long, or all weekend long, the 4 tires have been the thing, but it all depends on how much these 2 guys stay side by side. Can we make it to the white flag, though? Boyles is not going to make it easy. Hammond's coming out. They come side by side. Oh, contact 2. Boom.
Sideways.
Crashing.
And Phillips is involved with that as well.
And the caution. Caution never came out. We're still green. Okay. Never mind, folks. Caution's not out. Tucker is still out front. We'll go back and watch that here at the end of this one. But Tucker coming out of the turn down the final time. And that's what he needed by Hammond's. Car moves up in the 3rd. Tucker is still going to hang on to this one and win it tonight. Wow, what a finish. I am shocked that a caution did not come out.
I am as well. That was like a massive pile up.
Let's go back. Right there. I'm that's well beyond the start-finish line. Wow. Yeah, that is amazing that was not a caution. Wow. It started up there with Hammonds and them. They were beating and banging with Boyles. And Boyles slams the wall. just like you, I'm amazed that was not the caution at the end. But Tucker, nonetheless, hanging on to this thing, winning it. Thriller here at Phoenix. Wow.
So wild. We said he didn't want to see that caution. Well, it came out, and as Chastity said, he was yelling when it came out. He was not happy. But you know what? I don't think it matters. He's happy as he can be right now. He got the win.
Yeah. I mean, that he held on there too. I think it wasn't that the contact there slowing Hamlin up enough that he wasn't able to get back to him. But man, what a finish to this one. That was just chaos and pure thrill and excitement there at the end. Oh, Greg Carr, man, finishing out here too. Listen.
Oh, they're all in there.
Oh, okay, my bad. Hey, well, let's grab the third place man here, Carr, man. Let's get a word with him. Boy, that was awesome.
Hey, Greg Carr. It's Wesley and Joe up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, finishing third tonight. That final lap was a little wild. How exactly did you see that come out in front of you?
Man, I just closed my eyes, to be honest with you. No, it was a great race, man. It was just, I stayed steady, stayed in the top 10 all night long, and I'm just glad to see it finally pay off. I was running fourth last week in the last corner and ended up getting wrecked, so it was nice to get a little redemption tonight.
Yeah, redemption you did get. As you said, you were keeping it nice and steady in the top 10. You had a great fight back there before this final caution with Maines and Duncan sitting around 5th, 6th, and 7th. Get side by side, a little beating and banging. I could see with Duncan's point of view, not exactly with him, but just a little bit of tough, hard racing. Coming through it, did you think your car was better on the short runs and the long runs? Was there a little bit of fade off as the tires got older and older and considered dying?
No, I was definitely better on the long run than a lot of guys. Yeah, I was with Duncan and those guys in Mainz all night long, and we battled hard. It's so hard to pass here, and we was definitely swapping some paint. But the good news is everybody kept it relatively clean. Nobody wrecked, so it was just really good hard racing.
Good hard racing. I definitely saw. You got anything for him, Joe?
Hey, man, good bounce back. I mean, it was a wild one there tonight. I guess, how was the tire wear there, too, though, at the end?
Tire wear was okay. This being turning into the night, it made it a lot better, a lot more grip out there as the race went on. Tire wear was really more challenging at the beginning of the race when the sun was hitting the track, but once the sun went down, it gripped up pretty good, so it wasn't really that bad at the end.
Good luck out there. Third place tonight.
Yep, thank you, and I just want to thank my teammates at Team Birdie Racing, our first podium of the year in the league, so I just want to thank Alex and Josh and John Bent. John couldn't run tonight, but he'll be back soon, just want to shout out to those guys.
Yeah, there you go. That's Greg Carr bringing her home in third. Man, here tonight, though, man, old Hammonds, he tried, but he came up just a little short, but he come up in second. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Hammonds, it's Wesley and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, you came home second. Wild inning there. You and Boyle was fighting hard for second. You had, of course, the 4 fresh tires. Hammonds and Tucker in front of you. They took 2. Were you pushing as hard as you could at least to get up to Tucker even?
Well, first of all,
That wasn't the battle, according to the official scoring, that wasn't the battle for second, that was the battle for the win. Because Tucker, when he got hit under that caution, got a black flag for a drive-through to the incident limit. So, according to scoring right now, I've won. I'm not really sure what's going to become of that. I think Dave was pretty clear on him not wanting to clear that black flag, but
We don't see a black. Yeah, we just now on our scoring it still shows Tucker up top, but I mean we always say unofficials.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it is official that I won that way, mixed feelings about it for sure.
Hey Wes, man, you know some of the things up here we don't see or we don't get a heads up on. You know, obviously things like that and whatnot, but that would change a lot of it. But you know, real quick, Hammond, I mean, it still don't take away the fact of battling up front. Now, before that caution came out, did you want to see that caution or did you not want to see it because Phillips was there?
Oh, I would have loved to see a caution. I was saying that from about 30 to go that I wanted a caution because I think I missed my in-car adjustments a little bit on that last pit stop. I wanted it to be a little bit more loose than it was, and I was just too tight during that last run to really make a charge at Tucker. So I knew if we had a caution and I was able to loosen up the car a little bit, I'd be able to challenge him. To do some weirdness, I guess it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, and also too there. I mean, now the battling between you and Boyles. I mean, y'all two men were going at each other. That's just some good racing back there. Was you a little worried that you're going to lose that thing?
Yeah, I was trying to baby it out the corners, and then I saw him get right up behind me once I got held up by a couple lap cars I was trying to pass. So, I mean, I just figured if I spun, but you know, I trusted myself not to get it too squirrely, even though it was stepping out a lot on me towards the end.
Wes, man, what do you think? That was a good one. Wes stepped away for a second, but you got anybody you want to thank, Hammond? Okay, you back?
Yeah, huge shout out to Team Watson Setups, TWRS.com, setups.com. They once again put together a great setup for us all. It was a rough race, so not a lot of us were able to finish up at the front like we were running throughout the race. But yeah, I'm very glad to win it for them.
Still there, Wesley?
Yeah. Sorry, I was talking with Chris trying to figure out what exactly it was with the finish because I was just confused as you were.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and obviously we go off the scoring and timing up here. That's why we always say, and they even say it in the real world, unofficial results. So, but Hammond, man, again, good run, awesome night for you there tonight. Again, congratulations. All right, there we go. That's Hammond. So, look, that's some things that we don't know about, but that will definitely change a lot here. But our time in the score says the man with Tucker up front. We're gonna still bring him up and get a word in with him. Tucker, join the booth, got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, Bill West just found out there might be like some wildness on the finish here, that maybe you had a black flag. Not quite sure. Our scoring and timing says you won the race tonight, that you were out front. I know, and I told Wes, I said, you had to be banging your head on the keyboard when that caution come out, because I know you probably didn't want to see that at the end.
I was about the caution, but what happened during the caution, I'm even more frustrated.
Okay, and see, that's what me and Wes is unaware of. Again, our scoring and timing shows that you won the race, and again, folks, we go back on unofficial results. Anything change, you know, even in the real world, they have inspections and stuff like that. So we'll say this is a barring an inspection at the end of the race here. We won, but as of right now, we're going to say that you won this race. I mean, unless you want to elaborate on maybe what happened on the caution, because I'm at a loss here on what we own.
I passed a lap car like a lap prior, and then I went stopping for the pace car, and I just got absolutely body slammed with a 50-mile-per-hour difference.
Really? Oh,
Then,
okay. Didn't even know that was a thing. Matt Wesley, that's something new to me. Hey, that's okay. Okay.
and
What's that? That again?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, we're going to go on unofficial, and I'm going to say right now, you're the winner of the race. That's something for them to figure out up there. But man, you had the car, you had it out there. But let's go back to what I was saying before. I know you had to be frustrated with that caution coming out because the thing was in the bag for you there.
Yeah, I were out of 2 expecting to get the white flag lap under green, and then just that caution was poorly timed.
Yeah, wild one for you, man. And sometimes it's but hey, look, up and down night for you. You got at one point got caught up and got a lap down in a pit stop rotation there with a caution, was able to battle back, get back there, get back up front. I mean, how was you feeling, just going through the field like that too here tonight?
Getting through the field was difficult because I would say dirty air made it the most difficult, but I mean, with the cautions, the short run was helping. And then accidentally killed Dakota because I slid up, and then took my short run speed again, and then finally made it into long run speed, what I needed all night.
Hey, you definitely turned it around, like you said, got up front and got this thing, man, up there. But Wes, wild one for the man here. Tucker, got anything for him?
Definitely wild. Like we said, you had a little bit of back and forth, drop back a little bit. Always managed to claw your way back up front, though. Really great car. It was Phillips out front a lot. We saw you hound him, and then you drop back. Was the tire fall off? Did you just use him up too early through the run, or did you just drop back to save to probably go for a second push?
Tires were falling off after 14 laps. I was pushing too hard early on each run just to try to see if I can get him to push harder. But he kept his composure, and I just, with how loose I was getting, I couldn't save it. And then almost blew the right rear. And then as soon as Williams got that black flag, I just tried staying up front, and it worked.
Awesome, man. I tell you what. Well, you got anybody you want to thank for a solid run here tonight?
Elite Sadler Esports, my actual team in this league, Hostile Intent Racing, Drew. Great help tonight, Gary, great driver. Chastity took a realtor. Everyone at SSRL, you guys for broadcasting, my mom and dad. That'll be it.
There you go. That's Tucker bringing it home tonight. And, I'm going to bring up the results order, folks, because, from our time in the scoring, obviously unofficial here tonight, Tucker's going to win this thing. Hammond's sitting there in second, Carr in third. Got Gruschmacher sitting there in the fourth, with Holloman's finishing out in fifth. Lozak finishing sixth. You got Boyles in seventh, Phillips in eighth, Latham there in ninth, Sanchez in 10th. Look to the rest of the field. I don't know what else to say, man, there, Wes, other than it was a thrilling night. It was up and down for some guys, and out now. We, obviously don't know what's going to happen at the end here between the Hammonds and the Tucker deal, because I didn't see what happened out there. And to me, by the way it was explained, again, we're not in control. I think that would be something that could have just been cleared or whatnot. But again, I'm going to say unofficial results, and as of right now, pending inspection, Tucker's the man that won it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about what that was either, but as our results and what the officials have is different. Tucker won for us, but officials have it listed as Hammonds with the winner, Carr in second, Grutzmacher in third. So if that flag does ever get revoked, it means Tucker's with the win and the Fast Five. Otherwise, Hammonds wins it. Holloman ends up winning the Fast Five for tonight.
Well, I tell you what, you never can doubt, man. Racing sometimes has some wild stuff happening, and it definitely was a wild night here. It was fun to see, man, throughout. I mean, sure, a little rough for some guys and some rough cautions out there, but I mentioned that even before. It's Phoenix, and Phoenix sometimes is a place where you could come in here and be clean and green, but a lot of times I've seen races it's just one of these tracks where it tears a lot of cars up for some reason. But Wes, for myself here tonight, Spartan Sim Racing League in the Master Series, we're going to leave Phoenix. Everyone, have a good night.